Okay, good afternoon, good evening, everybody. I'll fix the banner here in a second.
A new severe thunderstorm warning has been issued.
I see that the scrolling banner there on the bottom is moved up. Let me fix that for you all real quick. I just have to push a button. Use this time for to let everybody join in.
There is one new severe thunderstorm warning for North Carolina.
We're going to be talking about some of the recent events and the flooding. Audio, that's great. So thanks for joining me, everybody. I'll give this stream a little bit of time to come online here before we get into too much, but I'm real limited with how much I can interact with you guys in the chat while driving. Just be advised of that. I'll try my best.
A new severe thunderstorm warning has been issued.
I am in Kentucky right now. I'm actually headed home, and I'll explain why. So right now, I am near, I'm on 64. I'm somewhere west of Lexington, I guess. That's about as much as I know. I am actually headed home. I have to head home and get supplies and I guess pick up additional people. If you aren't aware, which everybody here is, we've had an absolute disaster of historic and unbelievable proportions that has occurred in eastern Kentucky, in and around the Hazard, Kentucky area. We literally had what I would consider to be the worst flash flood I have ever seen. The most unexpected flash flood I've ever seen, and it's probably, the death toll is probably going to be huge as soon as they're able to actually identify people. The other night we had a flash flood emergency issued, and I think it was about, God, it had to be like 11 o'clock or something. I was in Pikeville, Kentucky, right around midnight at the Walmart parking lot, putting some video together from the trip up. As you know, I was traveling up there from Atlanta. I had actually streamed a little bit on the way. Flash flood emergency got issued for the Hazard, Kentucky area, Perry County, which is about an hour away. My friends Ryan and Brandon were in town as well. I got a hold of Ryan, who was driving around. I said, we need to go. Let's get in the car. We got to go. So we all followed each other down there. We arrived we actually found a road that was flooded with one fire department personnel was on scene with a state police officer, at least I think it was a state cop, and there was nobody there. One of the fire department people came out of the weeds and the bushes and said that the cop that was there's family was caught in this flood in their house, wasn't sure if they were okay, and they were trying to access them. We assisted in cutting a tree out of the road, moving a tree and all this other crap. Basically, just trying to help some of these people. There was a truck that had tried to get through the road, got stuck. We had to back them out of there because the rain had stopped falling, but it was going to rain even more in about 45 minutes. And these guys didn't know that. They thought it was over. They had the situation under control. They had an ATV there, and they were going to handle it. So we decided to proceed up the road. One of the people that was there, I believe she was also a member of the fire department. Well, you gotta move, dude. There's a freaking ambulance trying to get through here. This idiot's on my bumper.
Thunderstorm warning has been issued.
Oh, yes. God. So anyway, we're trying to get out of there, and the member of this fire department said that we needed to go down to basically a road that was about 2.5 miles down the road. the fire departments in this area, guys, are strictly volunteer. They have like 6 members, and they have like 2 trucks, and they're all like 60 years old. The trucks. They're overwhelmed. They don't have any resources. And don't blame the fire departments, blame the local governments for not giving them any tax money, because that's what it comes down to, honestly, folks. Sorry, it's the honest truth. But anyway, they asked us to go down there. We went down to, on the way to this next intersection or whatever, off of Kentucky 15, we came across a lady that was just standing in her driveway. So we stopped, and she said that her trailer had actually been floated away, or it moved like 20 feet.
There is one new severe thunderstorm warning for North Carolina.
We tried to figure out what her deal was. She had got out of it. She was okay. Her friend was there with a car that they could sit in, but the trailer was pushed by the water. She wanted to go in and get her stuff. We advised her that was a terrible idea. She proceeded to do it anyway. I told them that due to what we were told was up the road, we did not have time to stay and babysit her, and I literally told her, quote, "If you get washed away, you are going to die, and there's nothing we are going to do about it," because there was not anything we could do about it. We could not stay there and tie up our resources because she was determined to go into her trailer. She was all right. We did drive back later, and she got her stuff out. It's a living miracle she didn't get swept away. But unfortunately, we had to advise her that we were going to be leaving regardless, and she was on her own. And unfortunately, we can't control other people. So we continued about another mile up the road, started going down the road, and some lady came out of nowhere screaming that she got, this is where it gets weird, she got a phone call that her sister's house sitters or her sister's kids or something called her saying that their house was floating away and the line went dead and she had heard nothing else from them. And that was it. So we had about chest deep water, and I gave Ryan, because he was the most inappropriately dressed, just meaning he had shoes and pants on. You know, I had steel-toed boots and it was a little bit more whatever, and same with Brandon or whatever. Basically, we had a raincoat, he didn't. So we gave him a radio, portable radio, sat him up at the road, and he was trying to be some sort of point of contact for us if anybody actually showed up. Of course, nobody showed up, but he was trying to relay some information to us. We made entry into the flood. It was definitely almost chest deep water. It was terrible. Unfortunately, I know a lot of people are going to sit here and crucify me like they did on the internet. You don't ever enter a flood. You don't know what you're doing. You're an idiot, because if you were really somebody who was involved with an ambulance or a fire department, you would know that you don't do that. Your safety comes first. But here's the deal, guys. No, my safety does not come first, because here's the thing. In a situation like that, when there's possibly 15 homes with people trapped in them, and we have about 30 minutes where we can do something before they all get swept away, potentially, there's a risk you have to take. I calculated the risk using my head, and I figured there was probably about a 33% chance we get swept away in the water, and about a 60 to 70% chance we don't. And I figured that was a reasonable risk, and we took it, and we were okay. The water wasn't too terribly moving. There's a lot of things that get taken into account, folks. The probability of debris in the water, the probability that the road is washed out and there's a gaping sinkhole beneath it, the probability that the water is going to start moving faster, probability of landslides, etc. It's not like we just ran into a flood. A lot of people are retweeting our tweets saying that these idiots ran into a flood. No, we didn't, guys. This was calculated. As far as I know, I'm the only one on the scene that's trained in medical and search and rescue, stuff like that, but it doesn't matter either way. I was responsible for the safety of these guys, and I deemed that it was a reasonable risk, and everybody else on scene was aware that it was a huge risk and it was taken. So Brandon and I hiked it through this flood, immediately encountered what looked like a pile of trash. It looked like somebody emptied a dumpster in the middle of the road, and we connected the dots and realized that that was a home that had been swept away, and there was debris in the river. There was also a car there, and I used the radio and gave the vehicle description of the car back to Ryan, and he advised that the lady that was on scene was familiar with the vehicle, and the vehicle should have been parked 1 mile up the road. We later confirmed that the vehicle was parked a mile up the road, so a mid-size SUV got carried in this flood a mile down the road, which was flooded with about 10 feet of water, and got launched up against the tree. And I see the chat, guys. I'll tell you, I'll interact with the chat here when I'm done. I just want to give everybody a briefing here, so I'm not looking at it because I'm driving. But anyway, this was a very significant and honestly a life and death emergency for a lot of these people. So we were able to make contact with people standing on the porch of a house, and they said they were okay, but they had no idea with their neighbors. We could not go any farther. There was literally nothing else we could do. At this point, we were told there was 2 people missing because those were the people that called for help. And at that point, we didn't say anything to the person who was giving us information, but we were pretty convinced that these were 2 fatalities, because if those people were in the trailer that got swept away, they would not have survived. At that point, it was in pieces. The only way that we were able to identify that that was for sure a trailer home, like a double wide, that got swept away versus just a pile of garbage that was picked up was the fact that there was a refrigerator with refrigerator magnets on it and food in the fridge in the debris. So it was pretty clear that it was house debris. So we actually left. We left the scene because we could not do anything anymore. We could not pass. The floodwaters were too high. Literally not anything we could do. I contacted Nikki to call the sheriff's department because 911 was down, the phones were down. The sheriff's department said that they had no idea what to do. They had no incident command post set up. They were overstressed, and they were not able to respond to 99% of the incidents. So we proceeded. We checked the town of Hazard, which the floodwaters had receded in. That town was okay. The cops there said that they would have pretty much anything under control. They had a full-time fire department, whatever. So we actually responded back to the incident that we were at, where the homes had floated away with the 2 missing. When we got there, that lady was still there along with 2 other people that had tried to go in there. They had some ropes and some rescue equipment. So I took Brandon and one of these locals that knowed a trail that would go up and around the water. We sent Brandon through the water with a bag, and then me and this other guy went up this trail. Just wanted to have people taking 2 different paths, just in case we came across different people. Had to walk about 2 miles to go about a quarter of a mile through the woods, but made it. It was pretty terrible. Cut the living hell out of my arms and stuff with thorns. It was absolutely awful, but it was better than being swept away in a river. So we get there or whatever, and I was able to make contact with a couple of residents that were trying to help find these 2 people. There was one guy that was very familiar with the folks that were likely, that we deemed missing and possibly fatalities at this point. He was familiar with them, familiar with the house. So he showed me the house, which was moved about a quarter of a mile off of its foundation, literally picked up and moved, and was hanging off of like a newly formed cliff because of the flood, about a 10-foot drop off where the river was and the floodwaters receded. When we were checking the residence, we busted out the window and stuck our head in there cautiously because it was hanging off, and there was actually water flowing through the house and then falling out the floor that was hanging over the river. The moment that I yelled and asked if anybody needed help, there was a huge bang, and it sounded like somebody hit a window with their hand. And we asked again if anybody needed help, and there was another bang. We thought it was somebody in there hitting the side of the wall for help. So we busted out one of the windows, another one, and very irresponsibly, but it had to be done. The reason we made entry into the structure that was compromised and hanging off the side of a cliff is because I looked in there, and the guy that I was with made a comment. He said, "It looks like there's somebody in that bed." There wasn't what looked like a children's room that we were able to notice with stuff that would belong to a child. And we thought, and the way that this bed was made, it had a lump in the middle of it, and it looked like somebody had the sheets pulled up over their head. And we were really concerned that there was a child in the bed, possibly, because we didn't know if these were adults or kids. All we had was 2 missing people, possibly adults, maybe kids, we didn't know. We thought that maybe a little kid was terrified and still in this building and was hiding in the bed. So we decided that it was definitely time that we got our asses in there. So we did make entry. I told the guy to stay out there, and if the thing started moving, to scream at the top of his lungs, and he was ready to grab me and pull me out of there. So we busted open all the windows. There are multiple points of exits. It was not anybody, it was just the way the bed was made. So thankfully we got the heck out of there. The house never did fall in. It might have honestly by now fallen in, but it didn't while we were there. As we were walking out, 2 people came off of the hillside, and it was the people that were in the house. They came up to us, they confirmed that was their house, and they were the 2 that were missing. So that was nothing but a miracle. They'd actually jumped out of the house as it was floating away, and they got sucked under the building by the water, and they emerged, grabbed a neighbor's mop that was outside, ran up the hill with it, used the mop as like something to pry their way up, because this is like a 45-degree angle. This is the steepest hill. This is the side of a mountain. They wedged the mop handle between some trees and basically rode it out for several hours until the floodwater went down. They had no clothes left. Their shoes were gone. They were in relatively good spirits. They were, they were coherent, everything. So I started to walk them out. I got about 3/4 of the way out. We ran into Brandon, who hadn't made it that far back yet because I guess he was running into trees and all this crap. So he was only able to make it about 1/4 of a mile down this road in like an hour. Apparently it was that full of obstacles, but we were able to go around, walk like 2.5 miles and get down there, plus make it back. So it was that bad. And yeah, it was ridiculous. So we walked them out, whatever. We don't know at that location of any, everybody was accounted for at that location, thankfully. The fire department showed up as we were walking out. It took them 5 hours for the fire department to show up, and the fire department was 4 guys with fanny packs with some medical equipment in it. That's all they had, and it's not their fault. They don't have any money. They're poor, they're broke-ass fire departments because they don't have any, they just don't have any money. It's not their fault. They were trying their best. They were at other incidents. They were surprised to see that we were there, and they were beyond relieved because they didn't know what to do either. They had never seen, nobody there had seen anything like this. Guys, this was an event of historic proportions. So we cleared that scene, and then we went and drove around, and guys, there's homes, well-built homes, guys. I'm talking about brick homes, mobile homes, garages, churches that were swept off their foundations. Guys, we started driving through areas, and I literally said to Ryan and Brandon, I said, guys, this isn't that bad. There's no buildings here. And then we drove a little bit slower and realized that there were buildings there. It's just that they had completely been swept away to the point there was no debris or anything. Guys, this is incredible. It looks like Hurricane Katrina in some of these spots. There was water up to the top of basketball hoops in some of these areas. This is the most catastrophic weather event I have ever seen. I have seen significant tornadoes level structures, but the widespread and the rareness and the sporadic nature of this event is something that I had never seen or thought would be possible with that little notice. These people in this area, many of them did not have any cell service. Weather radios don't work up there. Cell phones don't work. They had no idea a flood was coming. They got 2 people that were missing that jumped out of the house that was floating away that we found. They told me that they were awoken when trees started falling down, and they thought it was a windstorm coming through. And all this, they described it as all of a sudden a wall of water came down the mountain and literally pushed the house, and before they knew it, he said the house was moving like quickly, like 10 feet per second. He said it was moving at like 40 miles an hour. And within about 20 seconds, he said they realized that they had moved like 2 houses, like 2 housing lots down, and they were significantly moving quickly. At that point, him and his girlfriend literally jumped out the window, and then they got sucked under it, and then they somehow were able to get out of it. It is a bloody frickin' miracle they did not die. Unfortunately, and I'm going to say this now, there's 16 confirmed fatalities. It's going to be weeks before we actually have an accurate number of fatalities. There's a bunch of trolls on the internet saying, oh, there's only 16 people dead. First of all, 16 people's a lot. Second of all, there's a lot of unaccounted for bodies at this point. And in order to confirm a fatality, the body has to be accounted for. Joe, Sally, and Jim might be missing, but they don't know if they're alive and clinging to a tree halfway up the side of a mountain somewhere. They don't know if they're 10 feet under the water 20 miles down the river. It's not a fatality yet. These people need help, which leads me into my next thing. Guys, there's no coordinated relief efforts happening here. Yes, the National Guard's there, the Civil Air Patrols there, the Sheriff's Departments are there, the Fire Departments are there. They are working their asses off. There's volunteers there. It's coordinated to a point, But I literally asked these people, I asked several people that were in charge of things. I said, who is in charge here? And they said, nobody. Pick something and be in charge of it. That's literally what it is. And that's how it's going to be probably for the next 3 or 4 days. We will have, sheriff reserve units come in, fire departments, mutual aid come in, National Guard. Due to the scope and widespread nature of this multi-county widespread incident, it will never truly be 100% organized. These people need more help now than any weather event I have seen this year. And I am not playing down other weather events, but guys, this is hugely significant. Yes, I know St. Louis just flooded and was 50 feet underwater. I get it. But guys, it's St. Louis. They have resources. These people are in the middle of nowhere. It's like an hour and a half to the nearest Walmart. Well, there's a Walmart in town, but I think it was flooded out. But it's like an hour to the nearest large town, which would be like Pikeville or Prestonsburg or Jackson. This is significant. People don't understand the scope of this. This is beyond imaginable, and I can't describe it. I have a lot of video, guys, and I will never post it. Lots of other chasers have posted video. That's their choice. Out of the respect for one, I don't want to, make my viewers vomit, and two, I don't think it's respectful right now because we have unconfirmed fatalities. And if somebody is in my video that was filmed earlier and later on they got swept downriver and are now a fatality, I think it's very disrespectful to put. I don't know the fate of a lot of the people we interacted with. And I don't want to post a video and have family members that are searching for what is now a fatality say, oh my God, there's cousin Sally, we haven't been able to find him, they're in the video, they're okay, when they're really not. I don't think it's responsible for me to do that. My friend Ryan Hall has posted some clips along with the radio traffic between him and I, and we'll talk a little bit more about that later, on one of his channels. And it's clean, you can watch it. Guys, he didn't put anything in there that was bad. He's trying to document the situation. He did an excellent job putting that together. None of us had any idea what we were walking into. These people need help. They are begging for water. They are begging for... Myself, Ryan, Brandon, Ryan's dad, Ryan's cousin, and a couple of people that work for Ryan's dad. We all went to Walmart this morning. We bought $5,000 worth of the following. We bought water, Gatorade, shoes, underwear, pants, shirts, bras, personal care products, stuff that might be useful to these people that literally are walking around with no shoes. And we put it out on a table at a distribution point that's being set up in Hazard, Kentucky. I'm not kidding, guys. The stuff was gone in 15 minutes. Seriously, gone. It had been taken. People were walking up, and here's the mentality of these people. Neighbors are so willing to help neighbors down here. There were people coming up to the table that had said, I gave everything I had to, such and such who lost their house. One guy literally said, I gave them my shoes. Is it okay if I take some shoes? He said, he's like, I can go to the store, but I'm trying to help these people. I don't have time. I said, yeah, you can take some shoes. Who cares? There's literally people down there that are giving their shoes to people that lost everything. $5,000, guys, it looked like you would have thought we spent 10 bucks. $5,000 lasted 15 minutes, and these are all people that needed it. These were people showing up that had like sweatpants and ripped shirts on. Like, these weren't people that were mooching, these were people that needed it. People that wanted more than one case of water were asking if it was okay to take more than one case. And we all said, yeah, please take what you need. There were also other people that had brought donations there, and they all said the same thing. Everybody was extremely polite. These people that lost everything, just all they were asking for was a little bit of help. So one lady pulled us aside and she said, we have a picture of you standing on the foundation where our house was. And I didn't realize it was a house. We had thought that it was just a slab of concrete. There was no like electrical hookup or anything. I think the flood literally ripped the gas meter and the electric meter, like every service hookup, every sewer line. I think it ripped everything out. So what we were looking for to identify if these were structured, if there was a structure there, was like a gas meter or a sewer pipe, you know, something. It's pretty easy when you actually step back and think and take a look at this stuff. You know, was a house here? Is it just a concrete slab? Like, was it a garage? Was it a house? You know, because if a garage gets swept away, it takes a lot less water to sweep away a garage. You know, they're more poorly built. But I had no idea it was a house, and I was standing on it. I was actually flying my drone. I was trying to see my drone. I was trying to assess the damage. And apparently she was standing across the street, and she thought it was cool or whatever that there were people there. She didn't want to come across the street. There was a lot of debris on the street, so she had introduced herself here. And if the stream drops, guys, I'll shut up and I'll wait for it to come back. But she had came over to you know, say hi or whatever. And she asked me if I could if I was willing to come back to her house and help her try to find something. She has like a lot of family pictures that she believes might have survived the flood. They were in like, I don't know, like a safe or whatever. Now there's two of these individuals, so I'm not going to like name names, but there was two. There was actually two houses involved, so it's not like I'm giving away details that would identify anybody here, because I couldn't get been either one of these people. But they believe that based on some of the debris that was caught in the river about a quarter mile down, they think that some of their family items might have actually survived, and that's all they want. And she says that nobody there, everybody's busy, and she was asking, the most polite thing ever, she said, will you please? She wants somebody to go down there and help, and it's safe to do so. I know the area she's talking about. Unfortunately, I had to tell her no, because I have to get out of here. I have to go home, I have to get logistics, I have to get supplies, and I have to coordinate a response here. And this is where you guys are going to come in, and I'm going to talk to you about that in a minute. I told her that I would be back down there Monday. Ryan's going to come out with me. Brandon's going to do his best to come down. And I've got some of our moderators and admins who are going to get their asses there, and we're going to help some people. We're going to help these people more than these people ever thought they'd be helped by a group of individuals. What these people need right now, they don't need, and I'm sorry, I apologize if I offend anybody. I don't advertise my religious status. I could be the most religious person in the world, or I could be the most anti-religious person. You'll never know. I am a neutral person when it comes to the internet. However, they don't need your thoughts. They do not need your prayers. Those are not going to do jack shit for these people. And I apologize if I offend anybody that believes in that. I understand, guys. Thoughts and prayers, yes, I get it. But right now, if you're an able-bodied person, you know, if you're on the other side of the world praying for these people, okay, that's fine. But guys, I get really annoyed when everybody says thoughts and prayers, thoughts and prayers. Guys, here's the deal. If you're able to help, if you're sitting on disposable income, and if you've got the ability to physically go and help, these people need everybody's help right now. This is not a tornado. This is a multi-county incident. Red Cross, Salvation Army, these guys are going to be overwhelmed as well. So here's the deal. If you're able and willing to help these people, what your qualifications, if you show up there's two types of help. There's going to be clean help and dirty work help. Clean and organized help is going to be showing up at one of these points of distribution and say, hi, I'm so-and-so. I believe I'm willing to help here. Find somebody, see what they need. You're going to probably be asked to help sort donation items, maybe transport individuals, maybe help make phone calls. There's a lot of people there who don't have their cell phones and they need phone calls made. There's a lot of people in remote areas that need people to literally drive to them, ask them what they need, and then drive back to phone service and make phone service. You might be asked to do stuff like that. If you are EMS, fire, law enforcement, military, National Guard, hospital worker, search and rescue, maybe a carpenter or a construction worker, somebody with some muscle, is able-bodied, and is willing to see some of the most awful things you have seen, they're probably going to need that also. I'm not saying go show up there and do your own search and rescue, but I'm just saying that if you are able to do things like that, there are people there begging everybody to come and help them, and they need that too. That's kind of an under-the-table thing, because you show up like Red Cross, Salvation Army, fire departments, they're not going to just quote-unquote deputize people and say, all right, yeah, you go search through the unsafe debris here. But it's kind of one of those, I'm not going to tell you to do it, but you should do it anyway things. I'm not going to tell you to show up, and if Connie, who just had her home swept away, has her mom's ashes in a pile of debris, and it's safe to get to it, but she's too scared to look through it on her own, and she's pretty sure it's in there, but she's afraid to look through it on her own, or maybe she can't because she's too emotional, and she asks if you can help. I'm not going to suggest you go do that, but I think if somebody goes and does that, I think that they're probably one of the best people in the world. So that's what these people need. Number two, these guys need water. These guys need endless amounts of water. The town of Hazard, I think they either shut their water off or the water's not going to be accessible. One of the people that lives in town in Hazard, Kentucky, said that the water mains will break when the water recedes because of a pressure, whatever, I don't know, but they said that the water mains will break when the water recedes. And I also heard that on the radio. There was a statement, I think it was the mayor of Hazard. I heard on the radio also saying that once the water recedes, there will not be any water. They do have power in a lot of these places. I don't think they need really batteries or anything. I'm actually going to buy a generator at home here and take it down with me so that we can have if there's an area that can be used as a donation point, but it's not because there's no power there, we can at least get some phone chargers and some power. But they don't really need like batteries or anything and generators and stuff. What they need is like drinking water. A lot of the stores down there are overwhelmed. They've been out of stock. Now I've been told that Hy-Vee is sending 5 semi-trucks full of water and household supplies and food. Reed Timmer, my friend, is going to show up with Flex Seal. They're going to bring some flex tape and basically stuff that these people can use to start salvaging what they can. So these guys are going to have, their help is on the way for these guys, but the scope of this, I think there needs to be more than 5 truckloads of stuff. And believe me, if there's a surplus of water, like if they get too much water, they're going to find somebody that'll need it. So guys, here's what I'm doing. If you guys want to donate to the efforts that we're doing, my team, and when I say team, I say myself, my family, my extended family, and all of our moderators that are trying to help. We're coordinating a response down there. I was given a contact to somebody in the National Guard, and basically what we're setting up is a legitimate response. We are given my concern was if we showed up and the roads were closed, that the cops wouldn't let us through. I have been given a contact, and I was basically told that if I show up with a group of people, and I show up with my ID, that they're going to be let in and they're going to be put to work as emergency responders. Basically, quote-unquote, deputized, if you will. I was told to reach out, so here's what I'm asking. If I have anybody that's maybe within a couple 100 miles of eastern Kentucky, if you are able and willing to respond Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, possibly beyond, go to my website, seethestorm.com, fill out the contact thing, say, hey, this is my name, this is my phone number, this is my email, this is why I'm qualified, and this is when I'm qualified to help, this is where I'm from, whatever. I'll give you some information, and if we're able to work something out, we're going to get you there. A lot of our moderators and admins have expressed interest in this. This is why I believe we have the best team of storm-chasing administrators and moderators on the planet. They're trying to come help and support our efforts. If you would like to financially support, I see you guys super chatting saying it's for Kentucky Relief. Awesome. I'm going to do some accounting at the end of the stream, and I will earmark that money. However, the best way is if you use the PayPal thing on our website. If you put in there that it's for Kentucky floods, or even if you just type in it's the flood, guys, I'm going to know what it means. I am going to earmark that into a separate account. And we are literally going to go down there, and I'm going to make contact with our National Guard contact Monday morning, and I'm going to ask him if they still need water. If they still need water, Ryan Hall is going to come up with a trailer, and we're going to throw as much money and as water as we can in that trailer, and he's also going to use his money as well. If they need other things, then we'll put the stuff in my car. I just can't fit too much water. I can't fit more than a couple cases of water in here. But we're going to go buy, if these people want $1,500 worth of size 3 diapers, we're going to go buy them $1,500 worth of size 3 diapers. So we're going to go do something with it. We haven't figured out lodging because all the hotels around are booked. So it might be pitch a tent or sleep in a warehouse. I don't know what we're going to do. I honestly don't. I'm going to go pick up Nikki. She's got some family that's interested in helping, and we've got some admin staff that's going to be arriving as well. Guys, if you think you want to help or can help, please do help. We're going to give anybody that helps in person or financially, we're going to be doing a little video of this whole thing. It's not to like shove a camera in people's face and say, hey, we're here to get famous. No, I want to document and show basically the power of neighbors helping neighbors, because, folks, this was the most heart-wrenching thing I'd ever seen. We have people, like I said, giving coats and shoes literally off of their bodies to people that need them more than they do. These people are trying to help more than they physically can. I want to show that to the world because there is so much negativity right now, so much politics, so much Trump sucks, Biden sucks, this person sucks. Put all that shit aside. Let's go help some people. I mean, this is the crap that America, the country kind of sucks right now. We got people acting, so much violence. Here's the deal. I don't care if you're a white guy, a black guy, a Mexican guy, a Russian guy, Chinese guy, whatever. I don't give a crap who you are. Like, we all have a chance to help here, and it doesn't matter what you are. And that's the thing. I'm going to say this, and I apologize. I made this comment. I had to take it down on an As Live shot I put on Facebook because people were calling me a racist. I'm not. Guys, I literally said, and I will continue to say it, there's black people, Mexican people, white people, people of every color, flavor, and ethnicity that have been impacted and that are helping. Nobody cares what color they are. There's minorities taking help from non-minorities. I'll say it, guys, there's white people taking help from the minorities too. It's not a race thing. These people don't care about what social class you are. They don't care if you've got a job. They don't care if you're the president of the United States or somebody that works at McDonald's. They don't care. They're just trying to help. And I think we all need to be reminded of what's really important, because this is what's important. So if you think you're able to help, you want to help, whatever, you can financially contribute. If you don't want to contribute to our efforts, that's fine. I know a lot of people are more comfortable contributing to quote-unquote established organizations. My recommendation is trying to find a church in probably Perry County, P-E-R-R-Y County, Kentucky. There's 2 churches there that are doing a phenomenal job of trying to coordinate efforts. They're also in contact with this National Guard guy, whatever. Right now, they're basically just trying to get people places to sleep. But my recommendation would be trying to contact somebody in Perry County. There's other counties that are affected, but I think northern Perry County was the hardest hit. And honestly, if you're like, hey, who needs the money the most, they'll probably direct you. They're really honest. I would honestly stay away from the Red Cross and the Salvation Army, personally, just because you don't necessarily know that's going to go to the local level. I would donate directly to the local level. In fact, if we have any money, which we're not, left, I'm going to donate it to the local level. In fact, I put $2,500 away from last month's YouTube revenue, and I'm going to be transparent. Once this event is done, I'm going to put the accounting on the internet because people are weird about it. I'm going to dump $2,500 of my business, which is See the Storm Media, of my business money into this for supplies. And like I said, if our representative from the National Guard says, hey, screw it, Kroger just called, and they're building a new supermarket right here, and they're literally going to open a water treatment facility. We're going to have all the bottled water we need. We don't need anything. Get lost. Then I'm going to find somebody who needs it down there, and either A, distribute it myself, or B, send it to a church or somebody. Because the comment I see a lot on the internet these days, which is really selfish, people say, I'm not donating to a church because it's a church. Here's the deal, guys. A lot of these churches, especially in that area, they don't care if you're a Catholic, a Baptist, a Jewish person, or what. I don't even know how many religions there are. Those are like only the 3 religions I can think of. They don't care what religion you are. Like, they just care that you have a pulse. Like, if you have a pulse and are breathing, they're going to help you. So these guys are doing a phenomenal job. These people are the real superheroes of this event. Guys, the fire department was great, but I'm sorry, it's the neighbors. It's literally the magistrate And one of the freaking judges in one of the counties down there, one of the circuit court judges was going around with a chainsaw cutting trees so that we could get their floods and get to do search and rescue. He literally came out of and then one of the county magistrates came out, was also sawing stuff up. He got out of his beat up 1990s pickup truck and like flannel shirt with the sleeves cut off. And he asked me, he's like, "Are you the storm chaser?" I said, "Yes." I said, "We need help." I said, "Are you qualified?" He said, "No, I'm the magistrate, but I got a chainsaw." I said, "If you can use your chainsaw," I said, "cut all this shit down." Literally what I said, and I walked away. He came back up to me and he said, "How else can I help?" I said, "To be honest with you, I don't know." I said, "Go down here, talk to the fire department." At that point, we thought we might even have a police officer missing because there was a cop car there, no cop. But it turned out he had already gotten through the water. This was a different incident. But guys, these people, whatever, we had circuit court judge, or whatever they call them down there. It's the circuit court where we are, whatever, district court, whatever. The freaking judges out there sawing up trees and trying to help people. Like, these are the people that are the true superheroes in this event. It's not the fire department. And if you go and ask any of the members of the fire department, they're going to say the same damn thing I did. They're going to say it's the neighbors. They were the first responders. They were looking through stuff. It's the most positive, but also the most devastating thing I had ever seen. So that's my spiel. I'm going to start interacting with the chat a little bit. Sorry for going on a rant, but I just wanted to share what we experienced. And if you only caught half of that, I'm sorry, guys. Oh, shoot, you actually can't back. I just enabled the DVR. You might be able to back up the stream now. I didn't realize it wasn't enabled. I'm sorry. But I am going to do a live video, hopefully, from my house tomorrow on camera, explaining what happened, and then on the way back down, because this is important, guys. But anybody who has helped, if you've donated to us or anybody else, if you've done Ryan Hall's merchandise thing where you bought a shirt and he's putting proceeds to it, guys, he's blowing his money on it too. It's all of us. All of us YouTubers are trying to collaborate. There's apparently another YouTuber who's got a crap ton of money and a crap ton of followers. I don't know who. It's not Mr. Beast. I know you're, but it's some other guy who's gotten in contact with me. I forgot his username. I just read his email. I didn't respond to it yet. He's trying to get out down here and try to help. We've got YouTubers. Like, this is, social media is coming to save the day. Like, this is the positive thing of social media. Like, we're here to save the day. We're here to help. So thank you guys if you have done anything to help, even if it's not through us. If you've donated to churches, if you've done something, even if you've like passed along information on social media, if you've gone and found information like, hey, if you need shelter, call this number, even if you just shared that on your Facebook, thank you. Like, you are seriously helping, because even if you don't know anybody down there, you might know somebody who knows somebody that's down there that needs shelter, and they might say, hey, my friend posted this is where you need to go. So thank you guys. Like, I appreciate it. I mean, this is horrible. I was overwhelmed. I had never seen it. It's a mass casualty incident. I'd never seen anything like this before. Guys, in my career with the ambulance service, I have responded to shootings. I have been stabbed. I've been attacked, stabbed, and almost hospitalized for it in a rural area by somebody who was on drugs. I have responded to mass casualties. I've responded to a plane crash, bus incidents, people burned alive, people drowned, people crushed in cars, unable to get out, families stuck in cars, school bus incidents. I've never seen anything to this scale. And once we realized the scope of this, I realized that this was beyond anything. And that's when I realized we had to focus on who we could help and what we could do. So I want to say, number one, I'm not trying to idolize anybody, but I know a lot of people give Ryan Hall a bunch of crap because they think that he's fake. Guys, he's not. He's a human being. And him and his family did a lot of help today. Number one, I want to say thank you to Ryan, because I was giving him a little bit of crap that night after it, because he was wearing his waterproof shoes and these like fleece pants or like nylon pants. I don't know what he was wearing. And I told him, I said, yeah, you're just standing up here because you're too afraid to get your feet wet. And I actually apologized to him. I said, I hope you didn't take offense to that. And I told him today at dinner, I said, Ryan, you were probably the most critical part of that incident. And every incident, if you've got more than one person, you need to establish an incident command that's accountable for everybody. So him standing at the road and talking to that lady who knew the neighborhood with a portable radio and giving us information, like turn left, check this house, don't check that house, or these people are okay, we don't know about these people, etc. He got back in his car and drove to phone service to get information out for us. If he wasn't there, if something would have happened to myself or Brandon or any of these other people helping, there would have been nobody to drive to phone service and call for help. I told him when we walked into that incident, I said, if you are not able to get radio contact from either of us in a 5-minute period, if you call from us and you don't hear back in 5 minutes, go get help. He was literally, he didn't know it. I didn't say, hey, you're in charge of this incident, you know, everything's on you. I didn't say that, but we gave him a radio and I said, this is on you. I said, your incident command. And I don't know if it went over or what, but he didn't even respond. I just said, your incident command, you've got this. Guys, everybody, you're all used to him sitting behind a desk and talking about milk sandwiches and all this other BS. And I'll be honest with you, him and I don't see eye to eye and everything. But he is one of my best friends, and I have gained so much respect for this guy. Like, I don't think he's ever been to that before. He's not a firefighter. He's not a cop. He's a freaking guy he's a freaking YouTuber. That's what he is. But he functioned in the capacity of a first responder. And with the capability of somebody who had done this for several years. He did not panic. He did not freak out. The entire time, he did not raise his voice. He didn't panic. He didn't scream. He didn't do anything stupid. You could tell he was concerned because he was looking at radar, and several times he said, you guys got about 2 minutes, it's going to be a downpour, you need to leave. And my response to him every time he said that was, I'm aware of that, we're not coming out. And he probably thought we were nuts. But he managed the incident better than anybody that had never managed a public safety incident before had. And I truly hope that everybody on the internet understands what a true hero this guy was for what he did. And I guarantee you, if you say anything to him, he's going to say, oh, I didn't do anything but stand there. But here's the deal. He was responsible for the incident. And the weight on his shoulders, whether he knew it at the time or whether he will accept the responsibility or not, was absolutely incredible. So guys, please, if you're a follower of Ryan Hall, you know, give him a like on his next video or send him a super chat or something. The guy's not a piece of crap. He's not fake. He's not. A lot of people said, oh, he's just raising money to go buy new cars for his friends. No, guys, he really does care. Okay, you know, the guy means well. Today, we met up with him at 8 o'clock in the morning. We met at his warehouse. Showed up. His dad was there. His cousin was there. Employees of his dad's employees of a retail store was there. Guys, they all wanted to help. They weren't there to shoot a video. They weren't there to be internet famous. They just wanted to help. And the words his dad said to me were, this is just how people are in Kentucky. Everybody helps one another. You know, and on Monday, the same group of people is going to be down there, and we're all going to be coordinating an effort again. So, also, Brandon Kopic, and he deserves, I am not related to or in business with or have any ties to him other than he's just another storm chaser and he's a friend. He went in immediately, like footsteps behind me into this incident, and we'll probably say the same thing about Ryan because he, you know, it clicked with him that this was what was happening. Like he realized, okay, you know, that's why he's there. I made him carry the, I have an ambulance bag full of supplies, BLS and ALS supplies. And he was taking the shorter route, I was taking the longer route, so I made him carry the bag because he was going a shorter route. And I didn't want to hoof it 2 miles. So he hoofed all the emergency response supplies in while I was going up a 45-degree slope for like 45 minutes. So you got to give him credit for doing that. And There was and I'll say this, I'm not going to tell you guys why, because it could be construed as negative, but there was a pretty significant disagreement with the way we were going to manage this scene between him and I raised my voice and jumped down his throat, and I said, no, I did this for 8 years, I've managed many critical incidents, we're going to do it this way, shut up and listen to me. And he did. And I didn't do that to be mean, it's because for the safety of everybody, I knew that this was the way to do it. And it's not because he was being stupid or anything. It's just, he had his own opinion of something to do before we did something, and that's all it was. However, at incident scenes, the most senior, experienced person with the scene needs to be in charge, and sometimes you got to do that, and sometimes the only way to relay a message. And when you're friends with somebody, you can do that. You know, it's like Nikki, my fiance. I can say, hey, if she was there, I would have done the same thing. I would have said, hey, shut the hell up. You don't know what you're talking about. We're going to do it this way, and she'll trust me. So I respect Brandon for knowing that, okay, this guy's not dumb, he's right, whatever. So guys, he was a true critical component of coordinating response here also. This wasn't just a me, and I'm not trying to shine a spotlight on me. This was a multi-YouTuber thing here, guys. This was a bunch of social media creators trying to help people. And another person, and I'm going to recognize everybody. Another storm chaser that showed up was Brandon Clement, who went down the road and apparently was doing search and rescue with another incident as well. Guys, storm chasers, oftentimes the amateur storm chasers don't help, but the professionals do. I will never release any of that video to the public, ever. There's things in the video I have that, well, actually YouTube would take the video down. But there's things in there that I can't say, or YouTube will probably take this video down. The scene was a critical scene, and it still is for these families. So I just wanted to go live here and tell everybody what the situation is, because I haven't been able to speak on it. You know, this is a very serious thing, and you guys support and everything. Honestly, you sharing videos and stuff, it's a huge support. So my plan, once again, is Monday we're going to get down there with my group, meet up with Ryan and his family, and we're going to do a coordinated response. Ryan's dad's got a trailer, an enclosed trailer, like an enclosed 12-foot trailer. I'm going to take the money we got, and we're going to take the money they got, and we're just going to buy a bunch of stuff that they need to throw in the trailer, and we're going to get our asses down there. We're not just going to drop it off, we're going to help these guys. And we're going to help in any way we can, because this is a huge thing. So, and also Reed Timmer, he's bringing, like I said, he's coming down with like Flex Seal, which is so great. What an excellent company, because these guys need like tarp and tape, because some of these people still have a home, but the half of it's missing, and there's personal items in their home, and they need tarps and tape to attach the tarps and stuff. So one of the things we're going to buy, and this was asked from some of the people, I'm going to go purchase some cheap cordless drills at Walmart, get them all charged up, and buy a bunch of screws, because there's a bunch of people saying that they were using plywood, but they didn't have anything to attach to their homes to like tarp up and patch up their walls and stuff. So I'm going to take like 5 or 6 of those down to pass around. You know, we're going to do some stuff like that people don't normally think. We're going to take battery power banks for people to charge their cell phones. We're going to take more shoes, because the shoes were the most wanted thing. I'm not kidding you. My vehicle was literally filled from the seat to the roof with shoes. That's what I brought, was shoes and socks. My back seat was full. People were literally walking up to my car, taking the shoes before I could get them out and put them on the table. So, and understandably so. A lot of people didn't have boots, so I'm going to go get a bunch of boots. Walmart's got a good deal. You can get a pair of cheap rain boots that are knee-high for $14.99. They're perfect. You can't ask for anything better. Unfortunately, I'm not tax exempt, but it's okay when they're that cheap, especially when I buy them in Wisconsin, because our sales tax is like 4.8%. It's cheap. So we're going to help in any way we can. There's a hardware store in a town near me that's going to donate $800 and basically an $800 gift card, and I'm going to go pick up stuff there tomorrow. I'm basically going to buy whatever looks useful, tarps, whatever, odds and ends. So this is a mass response that's being coordinated, so thank you guys. But I did go live that night because I was trying to get the word out, because there was nobody responding, and unfortunately the live stream cut out right when we got back on scene. There was a lot of people that thought I died. There was Ryan's wife thought he died. I didn't have any phone service, and when I got back to phone service, there was people texting me that were legit concerned that I was dead. And there was people trying to get a hold of people that were there with me that were trying to see if I had died. Guys, I'm not dead. There's phone service is terrible down there, and that's one of the things that's complicating incident response.
In Albuquerque, Mexico, has issued a new severe thunderstorm warning.
So I'm going to bring down a cache of portable radios. I have 20 portable radios, VHF radios, so people can actually communicate with each other in areas where there's no cell phone dead zones. That's going to be heavily needed. So it's going to get intense, and I have to run home because I need the manpower and I need to get supplies. But it was intense. Yeah, I saw the wall, so I'm going to check the chat. Yeah, I see that Walmart's making a contribution. Kroger is and Hy-Vee is as well. Bob Lancaster's in the chat.
There is one severe thunderstorm warning for New Mexico.
Bob's got my car fixed. He has my transmission fixed. This car, if West Georgia Transmission there in Carrollton wouldn't have fixed my car so fast, we would have never been able to respond to the flood. It's also possible, guys, that West Georgia Transmission might have been the last people to work on my car had my car got swept away in the flood, so that would have been an honor to them. But thank you, Bob. Guys, I'm going to say this out loud. They cut me a hell of a deal. They got my transmission and front control arms replaced in a day and a half. A day and a freaking half. They got this all work done. That's incredible. Thank you, guys. So I'm going to go home. I'm going to get some tires real quick. And Bob, you're going to hate yourself. It's okay. It's not your fault. This car's got a lot of miles on it. And I think it's actually got the original ignition coils in it. We got a misfire when we're going uphill and we're under light acceleration. It's cylinder 4 and 5. And it's the coil packs. I swapped around some coil packs. That's definitely them. So I'm going to put coil packs on it. I wish I would have done that before I got there because Bob would have fixed that too. But he couldn't fix it because it wasn't broken. You can fix what's not broken. So I'm going to throw new spark plugs and coil packs in it. And it's going to be ready to roll. So when that happened, it's funny, that happened the other morning, and I'm like, God, I wish this would have happened about 800 miles sooner because Bob could have fixed it. That's okay. But Bob did an excellent job, and we're going to be doing a little bit of promotional material for him free of charge because of the work they did. If you're in the Southeast and you need your transmission repaired, or any auto repair, honestly, and you guys want to get it done right, and you want to support a small business that's really, really good, get a hold of West Georgia Auto Transmission. Guys, I don't know. I just know you guys as Bob's shop. West Georgia Auto Transmission. They're in Carrollton. Contact me. I'll put you in touch, whatever. Well, I've got some pictures and some video, whatever, I'm going to put up as soon as things calm down. Thank you to those guys. And all you guys in the chat that love watching this, you can thank them too because they did awesome. Yeah, Bob's cool. Yeah, he took me out to dinner at a barbecue place, and I can't believe it. We got our food in like 5 minutes flat. It was nuts. And normally I don't, so here's the deal, guys. I won't eat like barbecued pork unless it comes from like an actual barbecue place, because if you go to one of those chains, you always get like a bunch of fat in it, and it makes me just like want to vomit and gag. But if you go to like a small, like a family-owned place, like it's always like quality meat, like it always tastes good. So I'm like, heck yeah, let's go get it. And it was really good. I couldn't believe it. So thanks for dinner, Bob. What a guy. I will check your PayPal, absolutely, or my PayPal, absolutely. I actually haven't been able to check my PayPal for like 4 days because Verizon doesn't work so well down there. But I will. And thank you for the super chat there. That's very appreciated. And guys, here's what I'm going to do. A lot of people have donated on super chat here. It's really tough for me to determine who did what. So what I'm going to do, this video makes money on ads and super chats. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take 80 80% of all the revenue that this video makes. So basically a week from now, after the video's done calculating its ad money, I'm going to take however much money I made in ads. It'll probably make a couple $100 in the ads because we're getting a lot of views. We already have 10,000, but it'll make a couple $100. And all the super chats that I made from this video, and I'm going to take 80%. I'm going to take, you know, the total times 80%. Whatever that number is, I'm going to use a credit card while we're buying stuff this week. Whatever 80% of the profit of this video was, or not the profit, but the 80% of the total revenue of this video, I'm going to take and I'm going to make a payment on that credit card, and that's going to be the viewer's contribution to assisting in disaster response. Anybody who's put a super chat or a PayPal contribution, guys, I'm going to put you like some sort of shout out or some thanks in a video, because you guys, I don't care if it's $1.99. That's still $1.99 that goes to help somebody. And here's the deal. I operate on this philosophy. If somebody has $100 in their bank account and they loan me $50, they're a hero. If somebody's got $1 million in their bank account and they loan me $50, they're still a hero, but not as much as the guy that just gave me half his bank account. So I don't care if you've donated. I see a lot of people have commented saying, you know, I don't have any money, but here's $4.99. I don't care, guys. $4.99 is $4.99. If 100 people donate $4.99, that's almost $500. That's like a crap ton of water. Guys, we spent $300 on water today, and I think we had like 50 cases at Walmart. So that could potentially buy 100 cases of water. So it adds up. Even if it's 99 cents, if 10 people donate 99 cents, that's $10, and $10 is going to buy one of those cheap pairs of shoes or cheap pairs of Crocs at Walmart for these people. Because a lot of them are requesting Crocs. They all want Crocs because they're tired of their shoes getting soaked going through their wet house. And we've been buying, here's the thing, Walmart has Crocs on sale for $8. They're not the actual Crocs, but they're like a knockoff, so it's perfect. So if 10 people donate $1.99, it's a pair of shoes. Like, we get a ton of views on these videos, so I don't care if you donate 10 cents, it doesn't matter, everything helps. So don't feel bad. Like if what's holding you back, if contributing $5 is holding you back because you think that it's not enough, it doesn't matter. I mean, just look at taxes. I mean, we got people that make $20,000 a year and don't pay a whole lot of tax. We got people that make $100,000 and they pay a bunch of tax, and everybody contributes. I mean, okay, the roads still aren't getting fixed, but it's the principle. You know, you see, I mean, you know, we're all paying our search and rescue, and we're all paying our Kentucky flash flood disaster tax. Let's call it that. And yeah, Bob already paid his tax. He bought me dinner. But no, seriously, and even if you can't help out, that's okay. But if you see information on Facebook that might be helpful to people that are in the area, go ahead and share it, because that's super helpful too. So thanks, guys. You guys are incredible. And like I said, I'm going to do a little video because I believe in transparency. I know you guys wouldn't do this, but there's a lot of negative people out there that are going to say, oh, Vince didn't donate any supplies, he just took all the money. No, that's not the case. Guys, I make enough money to live, well, I wouldn't say comfortably. I mean, I still have to eat Ritz crackers 7 days a week because you know what I mean. But whatever, gas is high. But like, I'm not so broke that I'm not gonna we're not gonna be dishonest with what's happening here. So to show everybody what their contribution is doing, because I believe you should see the fruits of your effort and the fruits of your labor, so to speak. I'm gonna, like I said, make a little video while I'm down there. I'm not gonna show anybody on camera that doesn't want to be, but we're going to show us buying some supplies at Walmart. We're going to show us, you know, hey, this is how insane it is, and maybe do some interviews with Brandon, maybe with Ryan, with Nikki, anybody that shows up to help, and be like, hey, what did you see? And basically dedicate that to all you guys that have done something to help. So with that said, thank you everybody who supports our efforts. You guys are some of the best people in the world. And like I said, it's really hard for me to track the super chats, so that's why screw it. If you put Kentucky in there that you're helping for Kentucky and you're a super chat, just screw it. I'm just going to take like 80% of the video. The reason I'm not going to take 100% is because I still have to put a little bit of money into my bank account to operate the business, because it's going to cost a significant amount of money to do this, because I still have to put myself and possibly my people, if I can afford it, in hotels. So I still have to I'm basing 20% of what this video will make is just enough to keep me on the road to get me here and back. That's basically all I need. So, and like I said, Ryan Hall, if you guys want to buy Ryan Hall merchandise, you can do that. If you buy from Ryan Hall's store, a good chunk of the profits actually go to his fund that helps do relief efforts, that helped buy this $5,000 worth of stuff today. So you can support him. You can also, if you guys want, on an unrelated note, we do have our merchandise store open at seethestore.com. There's a button for the store. Carrie and Nikki are doing the store. Carrie's son is as well. So you can go there. We're adding more stuff, but there's like hats and shirts, whatever. A lot of people have been asking about that. But thanks, guys, for all the kind words. Yeah, yeah, I see the comment. Yeah, Lisa, PayPal is actually preferred because it's easier for me to track it. Because I can say, hey, like, in order for me to, because all my PayPal goes to one account, and then everything, and I'm putting all this on a credit card. So at the end of the month, I'm going to say, okay, how much came in from PayPal, so I know how much to reimburse the credit card for the supplies. So basically with PayPal, I'm just going to go on there and be like, okay, I need all transactions from this day to this day, you know, and then I'm going to search for them. And if they say they're for the Kentucky flood or whatever, or if, honestly, if they're from today, yesterday, or tomorrow, I'm just going to earmark them for it anyway. That's just why PayPal's easy. Plus, there's no fees or whatever. But the super chat's fine too. Like I said, we're going to take, as something separate from the PayPal stuff, we're going to take the proceeds of this video and help for that. Now, here's the deal. If we have more money than we have supplies needed, which I don't think is going to happen, but if some miracle they get everything they need and we basically don't need the money, we're still going to find somebody to donate it to down there, or something, whatever, you know, a church or somebody that's doing relief efforts or whatever. So we're still going to find something. Unfortunately, I can't refund it. I do have to say that disclaimer because we had somebody that was ticked off because they sent a super chat once and they wanted it refunded because I didn't stop and do what, I don't know. But I can't refund this stuff, guys. I'm sorry. But we're going to do something. So, I don't know. But like I said, Monday, we're basically going to go to Walmart, or maybe Ryan's going to use his money, I'm going to use my money, and we're going to do something. Is this video or the last video that I'm donating income on? This video. That last one's not doing so hot, but I'm going to take everything and just do 80%, and we're going to earmark that as to reimburse for the flood relief. Yeah, you're right, Lone Star. We don't have to do this, but I feel really obligated to, because first responders get really attached. I feel like I have to do, especially because there's no severe weather going on for us to cover it. Get our asses down there. Even if it turns out that they don't need man-need supplies, and even if we come across a family that needs help, one of the things that, guys, this is, you know, kind of viewer discretion advised. This is kind of sad, but this is the kind of help that's needed down there. When Brandon and I were walking back, we came across a couple of like baby pictures that were really old. And amazingly, they were flooded, but they were intact and they were fine. But we found them in a yard, and you know, you can pick up a picture and be like, yeah, it's okay, it's somebody's cat, you know, whatever. But like, these were baby pictures, and it looked like they had a baby like posed, and like it was with an older person, so maybe it was with a great grandma or something. They looked important. So we picked them up, and I forgot what happened. I don't know if we picked him up, and I'm like, okay, Brandon, hold on to him. So I had Brandon hold on to him, and he either gave them to the lady that was there that was trying to coordinate stuff, or he kept them and he's going to put it on social media, one of the two. We couldn't put anything on social media down there like that because of the flooding or whatever, but I think don't quote me, guys, but I think he found somebody that might know what. Either way, like, it's stuff like that. You know, people need help searching through this stuff to recover what they can, because guys, like these pictures and stuff, like that's worth more than their anything. So it's important, you know, for that. You know, we were coming across like kids, like stuffed animals and stuff that looked like they might be important, and they were wet, but they were fine, they were intact. So unfortunately we couldn't hoof it all out of there. So as a compromise, like anything that, if we came across something that looked important, there was a tree in the middle of all this in the open that was dry, that wasn't wet. So we went and we set all the stuff that looked important and made a little pile by the base of the tree. You know, so it was pretty obvious. So people would walk by and be like, hey, that's so-and-so's, I'll take it to them. You know, these people are going to need help with that. So it's not all about, oh, save somebody's life, you know, protect the property. No, a lot of it's, you know, help them recover what's there. Because a lot of people are like, oh, you can replace property. Yeah, you can replace property, but you can't replace great-grandma's ashes that are in the urn 15 miles down the river. And if somebody can fish it out of the river, more power to them. So, but if anybody's watching that's actually been affected by this flood, or knows somebody, and you guys want to do like an on-camera interview or something, I'd really like to put it in a video highlighting how people help each other. Get a hold of me. There's contact info on our website. There's a contact button. Just be like, hey, you know, I've been involved in this. Like, I promise I won't make you do anything stupid on camera. And it's like super laid back. It's not a news interview. Like, it's literally just me saying, you know, like, hey, what the heck happened? And it'll be edited. Like, and I won't post anything until you see it. Like, I won't make you look stupid, I promise. But there's also a lot of people in this area, guys, that are heroes. And I see a lot of you guys sending messages like, hey, you're awesome. Guys, it ain't just me. 99.9% of the people down there are even more generous than what we're doing. It is so incredible to people helping down there. It's amazing. There's a lot of response and a lot of help, but it's not enough. Like, they need more, but they can't get any more because they're out of resources. Like, literally everybody in these tiny towns is already helping, but they still need more people. And they can't pull people out of their ass. Like, they need more people. But I'm sure by Monday...
A severe thunderstorm warning has been issued.
I'm sure by Monday there will be more coordinated response. Like I said, the National Guard's coming in. It's going to get straightened out. But incredible, guys. So if any of you have been affected, and if any of you guys in the chat have been affected, and like just by chance, maybe you found this on YouTube or by a friend or because my car's been in town all weekend. Guys, if you're affected and you desperately need help, get a hold, obviously updated, get a hold of us. Like I said, seethestorm.com. It's got a contact form. It goes straight to my email. I'll be checking my email at midnight tonight when I get home. If you severely need help, get a hold of us. If you can't get help, like, get a hold of us. And if I can't help you, I'm going to try to find somebody that can. I'm going to have one of our moderators in charge tomorrow. I've got one we're going to put into place that basically if somebody comes to us asking for help, they know who to contact. So I want to take care of our viewers too. Guys, if you or your family has been directly impacted by this, like, get a hold of me, guys. We're down there. Let's help you. You guys are the ones that support us. Let's support you here. Like, we're going to help whoever we can. Thanks for all the support, and like I said, I know the rant was kind of crazy, and people that tuned in halfway are probably like, what the hell? But I am going to do like just a talking head video explaining what's going on. I'll post it to YouTube. It'll be like a 5-6 minute video. But I'm also going to do a live stream tomorrow, just real quick from my house, explaining what's going on and an update. So, You have family members that were, yeah, guys, if you got, and here's the thing, I'm open to needing stuff. This guy, this contact from the National Guard that reached out to me, as well as the people that are already down there, like, they're also actively searching for people that need help. So if you know somebody that needs help that hasn't gotten help, if you get a hold of us, we'll do what we can. And I say us because this isn't just me. Like, I have a team of the most dedicated moderators in the world. We've got like 7 or 8 of them, and they work their ass off on the back end. And also, guys, you YouTube members, you know, you guys also support this too, just for being members. So don't think that you're not important either. I did post some 360 video. It's the only video that I'm willing to post because it's not graphic, but it's of some pretty major damage. But it doesn't look like major damage because it's kind of well off the roadway. But you can check that out. Lots of houses swept away. But yeah, we had many just awesome people that were helping out down. Like I said, Ryan, Brandon, the other Brandon as well. Local emergency responders, actually just neighbors. I mean, it's incredible. And the thing is, you know, so if you don't know what I drive, well, most people do, you know, I drive a big, green, bright vehicle that very clearly says, you know, we're YouTubers here. It's very obvious what we're doing, and people were excited, and it made me smile because a lot of these people were given a lot of hope. They saw the car, and like a lot of these people that were having a real crappy day, you know, the worst day of their lives, they just thought it was cool, and they wanted to see the car, and they wanted to talk about why it was there, and it was nice that we could bring a little bit of happiness, you know, and especially like the little kids that saw it, you know, it distracted them from the chaos for a minute. And a lot of these people were happy that we were there to help and bring a little bit of coverage down there. So it's excellent. You know, these people are happy to receive the help, and that's why I feel so willing to help them, because, like I said, they're all humble. You know, they're asking, can we take more than 1 case of water? And it's like, yeah, take as much as you need. Like I said, guys, Ryan Hall swiped his credit card for $5,000. It might have been more, but it was at least $5,000 worth of water, underwear, bras, sandals, Crocs, shoes, boots, Gatorade, everything. And it was gone in 15 minutes. $5,000 worth of stuff gone in 15 minutes. There was probably 25 people that showed up, and none of them, even though they had nothing, none of them took more than they needed. There was a couple of people there that only took a couple of bottles of water because they already had some. Nobody was greedy. You know, like I said, there was a lady there that needed 3 pairs of shoes, and she said, well, you know, do you have a size 8? And she goes, can I take another pair of shoes? She goes, I have an elderly dad or whatever. You know, he's my dad, he lives with me, I'm taking care of him, we're in a shelter, but can I get him some regular shoes too so that he can walk around? But I really want to get him a pair of sandals too, because he's diabetic, has poor circulation, whatever. Sometimes he has to wear shoes. And I said, yeah. I said, here's the deal. And I literally said, ma'am, if you need shoes, take the shoes. Like, you can take more than 1 pair. It's okay. You know, like, these guys need this stuff, and it's stuff that you wouldn't think that after a disaster, that shoes would be the most needed item, and it was. But yeah, it's incredible what's going on. You know, not a single person was inappropriate. Everybody was worried that they were going to take too much and rob from their neighbor by doing so to speak. Yeah, Bob, you would have never known these like coils needed. This thing drove fine, and it shakes a little bit, and it's now it's got a misfire code. It didn't before, because I scanned this thing like once a week, and it did not have a code before. I don't think you missed it. But at least I confirmed it was the coils. I swapped them, and it's the coils. So it's not a big deal. It's big deal. But yeah, I wish it would have broke when I was down there. Because then you could have dealt with it. Where am I? I don't know. Indianapolis. I'm in Indianapolis. I'm headed home, and then I'm going to basically turn right around, spend a couple of hours, you know, a day or so with my kids, and go back. Yeah, FEMA is doing some aid, guys. I see comments about FEMA. Yeah, they're going to do something. The problem is, like, I think these guys need more than anybody's going to give them. Like, the National Guard's there, but this is such a widespread event. You wouldn't know the National Guard was there unless you just ran into by chance, because apparently there's a bunch of National Guard people there, but you won't run into any of them because they're so spread out because it's such a big event. But there is a National Guard helicopter there trying to get people out of the water. Guys, there's still people stranded in the water. It's terrible. It's horrible. So even if, like, FEMA sends in the cavalry, I still think they're going to need more. And the problem is with federal help too, is there's a process to it. You know, like, it takes them so long. You know, it takes them a couple days or a couple hours to mobilize and whatever. But I do know that there's a couple of agencies that are coming down to cook food. And I think that's awesome, because that's a very underrated thing in a disaster, is the food. So there's people coming in to cook 24/7 around the clock, hamburgers, hot dogs, crap like that, to cook for not only the people responding, but also for the people that need it. So people don't just have to eat peanut butter sandwiches. So that's awesome, and it was exciting to hear that. There was already people that were cooking there and handing out food. And I think that's awesome. I think that's an excellent idea. I think that's something that, like, I personally would have overlooked. So guys, I am going to end the stream in 10 minutes at 7:05 Central. 7:05 p.m. Central. I have to get on the phone and coordinate some response with this, and I have to start putting some things into motion. So here's what I want. Guys, we had some excellent people responding with us. A couple of them you probably know with YouTube channels. My friend Ryan Hall. Guys, true hero in this event. Operated in a capacity and with a responsibility that he probably never has before, and probably never will have to before ever again in his life, and handled it as if he had done it a million times. Go the next time the guy makes a video, or better, the next time the guy goes live, put something in his chat, send him a super chat or whatever, and say, hey, we heard you're a hero. Guarantee you he's going to say he's not. But I don't think he understands, and he will, I think eventually he's going to understand the capacity he was in when everything settles in. But I don't think he understands how big his role was in this incident. And he's probably going to tell you it wasn't a very big role, but it was. Brandon Kopic, my friend, he's on Twitter. Everybody follows him already, I'm sure. He was a big help. Brandon Clement, he also showed up. He left our scene and actually went and helped others. These are all people you may want to consider following. Even if you don't want to watch their videos or support them or whatever, you might just consider keeping them in the back of their mind, so the next time they're live, or the next time that, you know, they post information, you might want to keep it in the back of their mind that, you know, hey, you know, I'm going to share their post or whatever because they're out here doing good work or something. So like I said, I'm going to have to end this in like 7 or 8 minutes just because I got to get on the phone. Yeah, Clement's awesome. He's cool. He's a nice guy. I'm not going to tell the story. I'm going to let Brandon Clement tell it. I don't want to make him look bad. He didn't do anything that made him look bad. There was a very funny incident that lightened the mood the other night that involved a mishap where he may or may not have mistaken somebody else's car as his rental, and there was a slight mix-up, and we thought something bad happened, but it didn't, and it was hilarious. Everybody laughed about it. So nothing. It was nobody's fault. It was actually nothing bad happened. Nothing like damaging or anything. It was just something that involved him that lightened the mood. It happened, and it was funny. And I didn't even recognize. He just kind of came out of nowhere, and he's like, because I was driving around, I couldn't see. And his rental car had bald tires, so he was like all over the road. I'm just like, screw this guy, we're blowing past him, I need to see, I'm not, whatever. So we blow by him with all of our floodlights on, and he shows up and he's like, my God, what the hell kind of lights do you have on these cars I about went in the ditch? And I'm looking at this guy and I'm like, who the hell is this guy to talk to me like that? And he got a little close to him, like, oh crap, it's you. So, and he had never met Ryan, so I'm like, well, now you get to meet Ryan. But yeah, Brandon Clement is awesome. He does a lot of, his thing is drones. He loves drone footage, and he got an awesome drone video of some of the damage. So if you're not following Brandon Clement, I think LSM Live Storms Media put his video up. But yeah, he's got an awesome video. You should really go look at it. But yeah, anyway guys, I hate to end this because we're on a roll here. We are raising money. Actually, you know what guys, let's keep it going for a couple of more minutes just for the fun, because I feel like we've got a good when our views drop below, when our views start dropping below 750, which they probably will because story time's over. Once the views drop below 750, I'm gonna end it. But guys, if you have super chatted, thank you. If you don't know, I'm going to take all your revenue from this video. A week from now, when the revenue is calculated, I'm going to take 80% of the revenue and reimburse my business for flood help. I'm basically going to go swipe a credit card on Monday for whatever these guys need, throw it in the back of a trailer with Ryan Hall, who's also going to do the same thing. And 80% of the revenue from this video is going to go to paying for that. So, if you're not aware, we do have a Discord server. You can jump in there. We're talking a lot in that. Talk to other friends, fans, whatever. Something to also be mindful of, like I said, Ryan Hall did post a video with some of the radio traffic him and I had, and they're appropriate video, like they're not, he's got very viewer discretion advised on the video, but like it's nothing gruesome, it's just damage, like that, it's a safe video to watch. He did a really good job of putting filtered content on there, and it's really really good video. Go check that out. It's on one of his other channels. Hey, you guys are awesome. Yeah, it's on Ryan's extra channel or whatever. If you go to Ryan's channel and you can find a link to it somewhere on his channel, or I think he's got it on his. He's got it on his Twitter or whatever too, a link. One thing though, anybody that does come down, like, guys, I am not the incident commander of like the entire relief effort there. You know, like there's other people there, but the only thing I'm asking is if you do want to show up and help, and you want to be part of the team that my business is coordinating, the only thing I ask is that we all stick together. And we're going to go ahead and kind of follow my direction, though, once we get down there, which my direction is going to come from my contact with the National Guard. But if you show up or whatever, and you're not like showing up in a coordinated effort with us, don't say you're showing up on my behalf, just in case you inadvertently or mistakenly end up like in a situation where like help isn't supposed to be or something, and you're like, oh, I'm with such and such, and like people get upset with you. We don't want that to like come back on us. So if you want to go down there and help on your own accord, you guys can do that. I'm not saying you got to go down with me. I'm just saying if you want to like meet up with me and my team and kind of coordinate a little bit, because I know the areas that need help, you're welcome to. I just ask that we kind of stick together a bit. I have portable radios, and we also have a push-to-talk app for LTE, and some devices for that as well that we can coordinate with. I forgot to specify that, but I will be checking the email for the contact form for that. That's on our website at midnight tonight, and sending out responses for that once I get home. You guys might have a problem finding Brandon on YouTube. Brandon's doesn't have a very big subscriber count, and sometimes with users with channels that are pretty small, you search for them and it's like they won't come up. It's like it brings up videos instead of users. But you guys can also look around on my Twitter. Like, I've shared some of Brandon's stuff before. Like, if you do a little bit of internet investigating, you guys will find him. Same with Ryan. Yeah, not in Letcher County. Yeah, it's a multi-county thing. I can't remember if... Yeah, Knott County. I remember we went through there. There was a huge landslide on the road at one point. But yeah, guys, it's a big county. Hazard has kind of become like the big distribution point. But there's people that are coming from other areas to there. And I think one of the things that's going to be needed is people to shuttle supplies back and forth. Let's say somebody goes to Hazard and there's a crap ton of water, but somebody says there's no water at a different donation point in a different county. Somebody might be needed to transport those supplies over there. Hazard has kind of become the hub, probably because it's just a bigger area. But yeah, it's several counties. It's like 6, 7, 8, 9 counties down there that's impacted, and like 3 of those are critical. What town? We're near Indianapolis, I guess. I think. But if you guys can't find any of these people and you're subscribed to me on Twitter, like, just watch my Twitter. You'll eventually see me share their stuff at some point. You'll be like, oh, it's them. Three count. Well, it's more than 3. It's just 3 counties are really critical. It seems like Perry County. There's a county that starts with a B. It's like Bela. It starts with a B, and it's kind of a goofy name. I forgot. And then there's another one to the east of that. I can't think of the names. Perry County is one of them. But then, like, all of the surrounding border counties of there, plus some, are needing help. They're just not as bad. It's a definite. Like I said, there's 3 counties that are like critical, but the other ones are still, they really need help, but it's a little less widespread. But like it's a huge incident, absolutely huge. It amazes me how big of an incident this is. We won't be storm chasing for a little bit. I mean, unless something changes, but there's really not a whole lot to storm chase. There is some ongoing severe weather on the East Coast today, but it's really, I mean, I would be chasing it. I would be chasing it if we didn't have this incident going on, but it's nothing that we're not missing too much. Let's put it that way.
Thunderstorm warning has been issued.
But there is, like I said, there's a lot of businesses that are helping out, which is awesome. I know somebody said Walmart. Yeah, Walmart's donating stuff. It was either Kroger or Hy-Vee. Somebody's sending a bunch of, like 5 semis full of groceries down from like Iowa or something. Somebody was bringing in somebody was like bringing in like a straight truck, like a delivery van.
There is one news
full of like kids' toys or something, like just full of like kids' toys. You know, it's stuff like that, and it's awesome. Like, don't get me wrong, guys. There's going to be plenty of help. It's just it's going to take a while for there to be enough help because there's so many people. And it's tough because it's not like it's a tornado where it went through a mile. It's not like it's a mile swath taken out of the city. Like, we're talking about just huge, widespread areas. So that's why this is such a complicated event. But Jesus. What's likely going to happen is the next couple of days, everybody's going to get more organized, and there will be somebody will probably post a list, like the National Guard or the fire department. There will be a list saying, hey, don't give us any more socks. Instead of socks, we need shirts. I don't know. There will be a list, and once those lists get shared, specific things needed, you know, we'll do it. But right now, I know everybody's asking for water. The press release this morning and the people talking on the local radio station were saying that the biggest, most important thing they need right now is bottled water. They don't need anything else but bottled water. That's the most important thing. So that's why we took in 46 cases of bottled water, and it was still gone. But Breathitt County, yeah, Breathitt County was the other one. Just one comment too, like if anybody's trying to send donations down there, I don't really know who to send them to right now. So if anybody tries to get a hold of me like, hey, I've got a truckload of baby wipes, where do I send it? I have no idea, but I'm trying to figure it out. I just have no idea because a lot of these places, a lot of these churches, like they're accepting the donations, but even they're like, we're getting a lot, but like they're like, we know we're gonna need this, but we don't know who needs it, so it's chaos right now. I mean, Kentucky, like, flooded, and just like the title said, there's mass chaos. But there's a lot of people trying to help, and that's very heartwarming because that's really important. Let's stop and get gas here. We're out of gas. Angel, if you're referring to some sort of dam breaking or something in Breathitt County, there was something. I don't know if anything happened or not. But yeah, Breathitt County was one that was just absolutely annihilated. I shouldn't say annihilated, but just absolutely wrecked by this thing. They were hit hard. But I know that there was a concern about like some dams or a levee or something that may cause a problem. But of course, there's flooding in other places too right now. We're getting, I guess St. Louis is flooding again, apparently. Oh my God, you can't even turn in here. What? Like, I can't even turn in? Are you kidding me? There's so many trucks trying to get in. But, like, St. Louis is flooding again. Luckily, St. Louis at least has more resources. Yeah, Ryan's fine, guys. Ryan's from about an hour and 15 minutes northeast of the area. Yeah, it's just been a terrible week for weather disasters, that's for sure. It's really sad. Yeah, this is St. Louis's like second round here because it was last week. If you're not familiar, it was last week that they had significant flooding problems. Guys, I don't know why I'm trying to get into that gas station. We need to go to this other one. We're going to wait for the next 6 hours to get in there and get back out. And there's no traffic, so we're just going to turn over here into this other one. Like, there's semis trying to get in and it's created a major traffic jam. I'm going to leave the stream on. I'm going to pump gas, leave the stream on, and then I'll be back and we'll kind of wrap things up. To go from Minnesota to St. Louis to Georgia. Be careful going through St. Louis. I don't know what the situation is there at the moment, just because I've been so tunnel vision focused on the floods in Kentucky, but I don't know. There's people in St. Louis, I'm sure, that need help too. So don't forget about them either. Is that a diesel pump? No. Okay, guys, let me get gas here. So I'm gonna leave you for just a minute. I'm gonna get gas, and then run in and go to the bathroom, and I'll be back in like 3 minutes. BRB.
A new severe thunderstorm warning has been issued. There is one new severe thunderstorm warning for Alabama. A new flash flood warning has been issued. There is one new severe thunderstorm warning for Colorado.
Alright guys, I got stuff. I went shopping in there, so give me a minute here. Guy disinfecting our gas pump. I don't know. It's kind of awkward here. Good Lord. Okay, guys. So I walked in there and the credit card machines aren't working, or I don't know. It's been a pain. My Lord. Anyway, thanks for joining, everybody. Let me get situated here. Check on something real quick here. Real quick check on one thing. Alright. Okay, folks. So everybody who's sent a super chat, donation, whatever, thanks, folks. You guys are awesome. We're gonna do something good here. And I'm hoping that, like I said, we can really help some people that deserve it. So, I'm gonna go ahead and prepare to end the stream. I have to make some phone calls here and start coordinating our response. A couple exciting things, though, that are unrelated. We've got a pan-tilt zoom camera, courtesy of Radar Omega, up on the roof. We're going to get that enabled and turned on here soon. So get a couple of things fixed with it. But anyway, thanks for listening to Story Time today, talking about my experience in the flooding event that surprised Eastern Kentucky. Like I said, you know, it became obvious that it was going to happen, but once it started happening, but I never would have imagined that was going to happen. So, neither did any of the residents. That's for sure. Is this right? Get on here. I hope I'm supposed to get on here. Nah, we're gonna find out pretty darn quick, aren't we? Okay. So here's the deal, guys. I'm gonna go off air now. I got about I got about 4 hours yet. I think roughly 4 hours. When I get home tonight at midnight, I'm gonna check my email. I've got just a ton of emails of people wanting to help. When I was walking into the gas station and took a look, and there's like 15 people already that like want to do something to help. Or want direction of where to go to help people, whatever. So I will answer emails when I get home. It's just focus on that, and then I'm also going to get some plans in place. I have a little bit of work to do on the car tomorrow. I need to finish mounting the pan-tilt zoom camera. I just gotta get that all taken care of. I'm gonna try to get our new tires put on tomorrow. If I can't get it done tomorrow, I'll just get it done some other day. It's not like the end of the world or anything, but. So I'm going to go ahead with that and get out of here with a beautiful sunset here as we move through northeast Indianapolis. I guess I don't know where I am. Everybody always asks where I am, but I never actually know. Oh, we're actually on the southwest side of Indianapolis. That's where we are. So thanks to all of our moderators and admins. They do an excellent job with the chat and also helping coordinate responses to stuff. So you guys are awesome as well. Thank you so much. I want to tell everybody to have an excellent night and stay safe. If you are someone you know is affected by those floods, even if they're in St. Louis or anywhere else. Please stay safe, and remember there are people out here that want to help you, and people will help you. And those, you know, if you found people that aren't, you know, I don't know how to word this. If you have, if you or someone you know is in this area and they need help and they're not getting help, I promise help is getting to them as quickly as possible. It is just so overwhelming down there. Alright, I'm out of here. Thanks guys, I'm gonna make some phone calls and get this stuff figured out. It's a logistics nightmare. Have a great night, everybody. Thanks again. You guys are awesome. Alright, I'm out of here. Thanks guys, I'm gonna make some phone calls and get this stuff figured out. It's a logistics nightmare. Have a great night, everybody. Thanks again. You guys are... Okay, I have to end the stream, and it's just an idiot. Learn how to drive. Like, these people passing on the right, like, I'm trying to overtake the car here, so just give me 2 seconds. Like, Lord. Every time I go to pass this guy, he speeds up. Alright. Now I can end it. Have a good night.